Have you ever felt like your own mind was a cage, with bars forged from yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's fears? This was the world Leo knew. At 24, he should have been filled with the vibrant energy of youth, but instead, his inner world was a relentless storm. His mind was a tempest-tossed sea, where waves of past mistakes crashed against the jagged rocks of future anxieties. He would lie awake at night, his thoughts racing, replaying conversations from years ago, or rehearsing disastrous outcomes for events that hadn't yet happened. During the day, he was a ghost in his own life. The taste of his morning coffee, the warmth of the sun on his skin, the laughter of a friendle were lost in the deafening roar of his inner turmoil. He was present in body, but his spirit was forever adrift in the turbulent waters of what was and what might be. The present moment was a foreign land he had never learned to inhabit. This constant restlessness had hollowed him out, leaving a profound emptiness where peace was supposed to be. He felt like a ship without an anchor, perpetually at the mercy of a merciless storm, and he was growing tired of the fight, desperate for a reprieve, for just a single moment of quiet. Leo began to hear whispers of an old man named Silas, who lived a secluded life deep in the northern hills. They said he didn't possess magic or perform miracles, but that he held a different kind of power, the power of stillness. People who made the arduous journey to his small cottage returned changed, not with answers to all their problems, but with a quiet light in their eyes, a newfound calm in their demeanor. With nothing left to lose and a flicker of hope igniting in his weary heart, Leo decided he would seek him out. He packed a small bag, left the noise of the city behind, and began his pilgrimage toward the silent hills, toward the man who they said had tamed the storm. The journey was long and demanding. The path grew steeper, the air thinner, and with every step, Leo's mind screamed at him to turn back, filling him with doubts and fears. Yet he pushed onward, driven by a deep yearning for the silence he had heard so much about. After days of walking, he finally found it, a small stone cottage nestled in a clearing, smoke curling gently from its chimney. An old man with a kind, weathered face and eyes that held the depth of a calm lake was tending to a garden of vibrant herbs. This was Silas. Leo approached, his heart pounding, and poured out his story, his voice cracking as he described the relentless storm in his mind, the anxiety, the regret, the suffocating weight of it all. Silas listened patiently, his gaze never wavering. He nodded slowly, a gentle understanding dawning on his face. When Leo finished, Silas didn't offer a complex philosophy or a secret mantra. Instead, he simply stood, walked over to a well, and drew a bucket of clear, cool water. He filled a simple clay cup to the absolute brim, so full that the surface tension held the water in a glistening dome just above the rim. He handed it to Leo. "Your task is this," Silas said, his voice as calm as a gentle stream. "Walk the perimeter of my garden and return to this spot. You must not spill a single drop." Leo was bewildered. He had traveled all this way for a balancing act, but the desperation in his soul was stronger than his skepticism. He took the cup. His hands trembled as he held it. The water shimmered, threatening to breach its delicate boundary with his slightest movement. He took his first step. His mind, true to form, immediately began to churn. What if I fail? What a foolish task. What does this prove? I'll look like an idiot. The ground is uneven here. I'm going to trip. But the immediate, undeniable reality of the full cup in his hands demanded his attention. To prevent a spill, he had to focus. He lowered his gaze to the trembling surface of the water. He watched the way the light danced upon it. He adjusted his grip, feeling the cool, rough texture of the clay. He began to sync his breathing with his steps, slow, deliberate, measured. His entire universe shrank to encompass only himself, the cup, and the path immediately before his feet. The world around him faded into a blur. He didn't notice the brilliant crimson of the poppies in Silas's garden, nor did he hear the cheerful song of a robin perched on a nearby fence post. The scent of lavender and mint from the herb beds did not reach him. The past, with its heavy chains of regret, had no space to enter his thoughts. The future, with its terrifying phantoms of what if, could find no foothold. His mind, for the first time in as long as he could remember, was not a raging sea. It was utterly, profoundly, and beautifully still. It was focused on one thing, and one thing only, carrying the water. When he finally returned to his starting point, the cup still perfectly full, he felt a strange and unfamiliar sensation. It was a deep, quiet calm that resonated from the core of his being. He looked up at Silas, his eyes wide with a dawning understanding. Silas smiled gently. "Tell me, son," he asked, "what did you see on your walk? Did you notice the poppies? Did you hear the robin's song?" Leo blinked, searching his memory. He had seen nothing but the water. He had heard nothing but his own footsteps. He shook his head. "No," he admitted. "I noticed none of it. I was only thinking about the cup." Silas's smile widened. "Exactly," he said. "Your mind was completely occupied with the present task. You were here, now, with this cup, and in that space of total presence. Where was the storm? Where was the anxiety about yesterday, or the fear for tomorrow? There was no room for them. They cannot exist in a mind that is fully occupied with the present moment." It was as if a bolt of lightning had illuminated the darkest corners of Leo's mind. The truth was so simple, yet so profound. Peace was not a destination he had to travel to. It wasn't a prize to be won, or a secret to be unlocked by someone else. It was already inside him. It was the natural state of his mind when he stopped allowing it to be dragged into the past or catapulted into the future. The cup of water was not the cure, it was the lesson. It was a tool that had forced him to anchor himself in the only moment that ever truly exists, the now. Leo left the hills a different man. The storm had not vanished forever. He knew life would still present its challenges, and worries would still try to surface. But now he carried a secret weapon. He carried the lesson of the water. When he returned to his life, he practiced being present. When he ate a meal, he truly tasted it. When he washed the dishes, he felt the warmth of the water and the smoothness of the plates. When he walked, he felt the solid ground beneath his feet. Whenever the familiar waves of anxiety began to rise, he would close his eyes, take a deep breath, and bring his full attention to the feeling of the air entering and leaving his lungs. He would anchor himself in the physical sensations of the now. He learned that his mind was not a cage, but a garden. For years, he had allowed the weeds of worry and regret to grow wild. Now, he understood that by tending to the present moment, he could cultivate peace, stillness, and a profound sense of joy. The greatest journey he had ever taken was not the one to the silent hills, but the one he now took every single day, the journey back to the present, where life, in all its simple, beautiful clarity, was waiting. And in that space, he finally found his anchor. He finally found home. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. And subscribe for more tales that can change your life.